This is the iPhone SE, and it is undoubtedly my favorite iPhone of all time. And finally, we have a brand new one, so let's talk about it. Alright, so this isn't actually the new iPhone SE, this is an iPhone 8, but it is based on the iPhone 8, so I thought why not just use this as a placeholder. So I am so excited about this. The iPhone SE, as I said at the beginning of the video, is my favorite iPhone of all time. That design, that shape, the comfort, the skies, everything about it is perfect. And I'm so sad to see it go, but I'm just so glad the iPhone SE name carries on in a way. It's just an amazing phone. So before I do anything, let me talk about the specs real quick. Let me give you a rundown. And it's got the iPhone 8 body, as you guys saw. It's got an A13 Bionic chip. That's the same one they use in the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and Pro Max. It's got 3 gigs of RAM. It's got a 1,821 milliamp hour battery, so it's the same exact as the iPhone 8. It's got a 4.7-inch screen. It's got 625 nits of brightness and 326 pixels per inch. Pretty average. Nothing great, but a pretty decent screen. It's got second generation Touch ID, so no Face ID, you still get the home button and the Touch ID, which I know a lot of people will like. It's got IP67 water resistance, water and dust resistance, so not as good as the iPhone 11, but IP67 is better than nothing. It's got a 12 megapixel rear camera, so it is pretty much identical to the iPhone XR, except it's got the second generation Smart HDR, which I'll talk about later. It's got 4K 60, 30, and 24 FPS support, same with 1080, and they've got stabilization on all resolutions. And you've got 3 color options: black, white, and product red. Interesting enough, all of the fronts are now black. I'll talk about that later as well. And you've got 3 storage options at 64, 128, 256 gigs, and the prices come in at $400, so $399 for 64 GB, $449 for the 128, and $549 for the 256. So all in all, a very interesting proposition here. So first off, let me just say, thank goodness it's finally out. This phone has been in the rumor mills for 3 years. So the iPhone SE originally came out 4 years ago, and finally we get another one and we can put the rumors to rest. There's just been so many rumors about it. It's driven me insane, especially since I really love the iPhone SE. It was so hard to keep getting my hopes up about a new one and just it never happening. So very happy that we finally have one. Of course, you know, I will obviously miss that 4-inch form factor, the boxy shape, the really nice finish and everything, but I understand the move here. Apple, it just makes sense to use the existing platform. It's a lot cheaper. They can stuff in a lot more, and it really does make sense to me. I would have loved to see the 4-inch live on, but the 4.7 inch is a really good platform as well. It's comfortable, it's a great size, and I think people will love it. So the iPhone SE is a iPhone 8 body with an iPhone 11 processor, iPhone XR camera, and a bunch of updated internals. So this is what most auto enthusiasts like me like to call a parts bin special. So Apple just used a bunch of parts it had laying around and made a brand new phone, but that's not a bad thing. That's a really good thing, in fact. Talking about the design, the iPhone SE now has a centered Apple logo like the iPhone 11 lineup. And unfortunately, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus both were discontinued. There is no iPhone SE Plus or a 5.5-inch model. There is a rumor that it's in the works, and there is going to be one, but right now we have no idea. So we have 3 colors available this time around. We've got black, white, and product red. So black and product red are very similar to the iPhone 8 colors. The white is different, specifically because it's got the white back, silver frame, and a black display. All 3 iPhone SEs have black displays now, and this is undoubtedly a cost-saving measure, and I don't mind at all. I really don't like the white bezeled fronts anyway, so it's a nice move that they're all black now. It matches the rest of their lineup as well. No other iPhone has a white bezel anymore, so it's just a black bezel front from here on out, and I really like it. So let's talk about the thing everybody's talking about, and that is the A13 Bionic chip. So I am blown away that the iPhone SE at $400 has the A13 Bionic. That's the same chip you get in a $1,100 iPhone 11 Pro Max. And this is the chip that's been running circles around every other processor, and it continues to be king of the hill when it comes to processing power. It's just mind-blowing that they put it into a $400 phone. And to my understanding, this is not underclocked or handicapped in any way. It is the same processor, the same power that you get out of the iPhone 11. And this also does support eSIM now, and that's fantastic. So you can have dual SIM support like you did with the iPhone 11 and iPhone XR. As I was saying earlier, the camera is very similar to the iPhone XR, with a key exception being that it now has second gen Smart HDR. So Smart HDR was introduced with the iPhone XR and XS, and it got a big upgrade with the 11 and 11 Pro. And let me tell you, it is fantastic. I really think that people underestimate how much of a difference Smart HDR Gen 1 to Gen 2 made, but it really brought up the photos to another level, and it is fantastic that they didn't skimp out on this and gave it that second gen processing. Photos on this phone are gonna look amazing. Another amazing camera addition is that the iPhone SE has all the same portrait modes that the iPhone 11 does. So it has, like, I believe 6 different portrait mode lights, and it also does include portrait mode on the front-facing camera, so that's unique. The iPhone XR, 11 were able to do it because of the Face ID sensors, but now since the A13 is so powerful, they can use it to make portrait photos using software workarounds, so that's fantastic. So you do get the same portrait features on the front camera as you do on the back. The only exception here being is that this does stay limited to humans only. It cannot photograph pets or objects. Since it is a software workaround, it doesn't have those depth sensors to work with and the different cameras to work out a more precise portrait mode. So that is one missing feature here. Another feature that is missing on the camera is the night mode. That is a little bit disappointing because the competition, the Pixel 3a is undoubtedly one of the competitions here, and it has night mode, and the upcoming Pixel 4a undoubtedly will have it as well, and that's something that Google will definitely use against Apple. The night mode is a very key feature, and I'm very upset that they didn't include it, but I get it, but also I don't get it, kind of. So I really wish it did have night mode. And rounding off the camera with video quality, as usual, iPhone video is going to be exceptional. Video is supported up to 60 FPS all the way down to 24 on 4K and 1080. And the front camera remains a 7 megapixel with video support up to 1080 as the iPhone 8 did. So not a big change on the front camera. Now, as I was saying, I want to talk about this phone, and in particular regards to the competition. So at $399, so at $400, this is going to run circles around any other phone you can bring it, especially with performance. The A13 chip is a step ahead of the flagship Snapdragon chip, so just imagine what it's going to do to the mid-range ones, and it's just going to walk circles around the Snapdragon, Exynos, and MediaTek competition in that $400 price range, and it's going to be fantastic to see that. Yes, the design is a little bit older, but I think that they made the right compromise here. They've kept the design older, but the internals updated, so that will give it's the right place to cut costs, in my opinion. And another benefit they actually get out of this is that it's surprising to me how many people still love the older iPhone design. They still like the home button. They don't want Face ID. They want to continue using the home button layout, and it's just an option for those guys. So instead of holding on to their older phones, since they can't upgrade to the Face ID ones, they have an option now, and Apple gives them the latest processing power at a much more affordable rate with the design they love. So it's a win-win, and it just shows exceptional market awareness right now. And just about the price, I think the price is definitely the key here. With the price coming in at $399, that's just amazing. An iPhone with current up-to-date specs at $400 is just a game changer. It clearly shows that Apple no longer is in it for the hardware profits. They want people to buy the iPhone so that they can make money on the subscriptions. They're changing their revenue model, and it's insane to me that Apple is doing this, but Android OEMs like Samsung and OnePlus, they're driving their prices up. The OnePlus 8 just launched at $700, and it's insane that the iPhone is now a cheaper alternative to a OnePlus phone. So if you would have told me that 5 years ago, I would have laughed in your face, but now it's just a very different reality we live in. So it starts at $399. Storage upgrades are very reasonable as well. So if you pay $50 extra, you get $128, and $100 over that, you get $256. So I think that the 128 gig iPhone SE is going to be the perfect sweet spot for a lot of customers. And at $450, I really don't think you can find anything better. It's going to be the best in that range price-wise. So that's it for the iPhone SE, guys. This is just a fantastic phone. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I've loved the iPhone SE from the second it came out. I really do like the iPhone 8 form factor as well, so it's going to be really nice to try out a phone with modern performance but slightly older design. It's just going to be a mix of two worlds that will be very interesting to see. Let me know what you guys think about the iPhone 8 and the iPhone SE upgrade. Do you guys think it makes sense? Would you have liked the 4-inch form factor more? What are your thoughts on the price, and especially when you compare it to the competition like OnePlus, who have traditionally been the kings in the $400 to $500 price point for phones? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. So if you haven't already, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel, because I've got a lot more iPhone SE content coming and a lot more OnePlus content as well. And if you haven't already, check me out on social media. I'll have all my handles right on the screen and links to them down in the description as well. This is it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.